Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the channel. I'm the Shotgun Shogun, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about something that has been kind of bugging me about the game, and I know it's bugging a lot of people as well. And I'm sure that you can tell from the title, from the thumbnail, that today we're going to be talking about Molagoras and skill ups and stuff like that. So as you can see, I'm sitting on 4, and today's Wednesday, and these are the ones that I've gotten so far just from the beginning of the week, right? So you get the one from Guild, you get the one from Silver Transmit Stones, you get the one from your Guild Transmit Stones, PvP. And there's one other one somewhere that I got. Anyways, regardless, we only get so many per week, right? And I know we get the automation tower ones. We have the chance to get one out of the raid. But one of the big things here is that they're releasing characters at such a breakneck speed that you can't keep up, right? And one of the big things too, I feel, is like a lot of people, especially early on in the game, right? They don't know the characters that they need to skill up, or they skill up characters and then that character falls out of use. Let's take, for example, a character that I don't really use very much anymore because I have Angelic Mott, is Angelica. And the problem is that throughout the very beginning of the game, most of the game into mid game, I used her all the time. This was absolutely worth. But now that I don't really use her, I have these Molagoras just sitting here doing nothing for me or my account. Now, I'm not saying that we should just get rid of them. We should just be able to move them willy-nilly, just whatever. But I do think that there needs to be an option to potentially reset some of your characters, right? So if I, like, let's say I'm just like, you know what, I haven't used Angelica in like, I don't know, 3-4 months now, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to maybe like buy something like once a month, right? I don't know, like I think that if you just did it once a month, let me just take and strip all of the Molagoras off once a month, and I think that in order to compensate for that, so that you don't get back all the Molagoras plus the catalyst, just give me the Molagoras. I would be perfectly fine with that. As a matter of fact, like half the time I want my characters to get nerfed so that I can get a recall on characters that I'm not using or something like that, to take all of those Molagoras and put them somewhere new, because a lot of the characters that are coming out, like I would love to finish out my BBK or my Yafine or my Charles. I've got characters sitting here. I don't really use my Judge Kisei much anymore. I mean, I probably should, but there's a bunch of Molagoras just sitting there doing absolutely nothing for me. I can't remember the last time that I really used Shadow Rose. So even if they just gave me the option once a month that you can come through, pull all of your Molagoras, like Ken. I leveled up Ken's skills like really super early in the game. I didn't know. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put points into this and points into that, and we're going to be good because I'm going to use him so much. And then I got something else, like same with Ravi, right? I was like, this was really, really early in the game, and I'm just like, boop, 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 boop. Let's just put like one into each of these, and we'll just level them up over time. How often do I use my Litica, right? But I put points into her S3 because I wanted the 1-turn cooldown on it. So there needs to be either an increase in Molagoras, and like the problem is they do these adjustments all the time, right? Well, not all the time, but every so often they'll do an adjustment. They'll make it cheaper for the Molagoras, and then we get a bunch of refunds back. Now it's nice because I've been playing since day one. I bought like every Molagora pack. I get back just a metric pile of Molagoras, but I do think that if you're a newer player, you're not going to be getting back that many Molagoras, and I think that having the option to just kind of move things around every so often would be a much better choice. Keep with the adjustments, and maybe if you just upped it a bit, you wouldn't have to worry too much about adjustments. Now I know somebody's going to come in the comment section and be like, I've got 200 Molagoras just sitting here doing nothing. Play the game. You should probably be skilling up your characters. That's probably part of whatever problem you're having. But it's like, look, like Troublemaker Crozet. I thought Troublemaker Crozet was going to be really, really good. Put a bunch of stuff in him, and man, do I regret that. You know, there's just so many characters that, given the option, I would move around and change. And with them putting out, what, two brand new 5 stars and a 4-star every month, that's pretty brutal in terms of skilling it up. Now, one of the other options that they could do is maybe make like the first 2 skill ups on like a 5 or 6 skill up thing just cost stigma. That way you can at least put a little bit of points into some of your characters. I mean, obviously, you know, some units have stuff that's not, like, you wouldn't put stigma on Tamarin's S3, right? But you could adjust that for maybe this one. The first 3 cost stigma and a catalyst. Then over here, first 3 cost stigma and a catalyst. So that way you can kind of adjust things a little bit around and ease up some of the requirements that it takes for people to really skill up their characters, because there's a lot of characters that I would love to use, but because they're unskilled, they're not going to perform to the level that is, like, acceptable, right? Like if I rolled in with let's say this where's my assassin Kali, I mean, like, let's take Assassin Sid for example. I would love to use my Assassin Sid. I have no Molagoras to really spare for him, but at the same time, if I don't have his S3 skilled up, he's not going to be doing much damage. And that's kind of the point, is like, you bring him in, you make him fast, he does a lot of initial damage, potentially killing somebody. And if you don't have that extra, what is it, 35% extra damage, like, you're not gonna be doing what that character is meant to do. Now, there's some characters that can get away with very, very low Molagora investment, but a lot of times, like, your damage dealers, at least your heavy damage, like S3s, you kind of have to invest in those first, because that way they can do what it is that they're supposed to do. And not having access to that is a huge detriment. Now, you know, even if given an option to just like farm Molagoras, right, I would opt to just go do that all day long, all day, all night. Literally from the moment that I got like up to hell raid and 85 gear, I've never not bought the Queen's chest just for the chance for the Molagora, right? During the Christmas rerun, I was hoping that we would get that infinite lottery box thing where we could get Molagora seeds. I would have taken like 2 weeks off of work and just spent copious amounts of money farming just for Molagora seeds so that I could skill up my characters. And, like, you know, there's a lot of options. We got, you know, Coeric coming, we've got ML Charlotte coming, and I mean, I'm not ready to invest in the skills on either one of them, let alone whatever new 4-star is coming the following month, or ML 4-star. But this is a big problem, and I think that the Molagora adjustments are just a band-aid where they need to kind of ease that up. Now, I mean, even if they put in, let's say, 2 extra Molagoras a week, right, that wouldn't break anything. I think somebody said it was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months to plus 15 a character off of just the Molagoras that you get on a weekly basis. Maybe, I think it might have been less or more. Somebody fact check me, but I know it was like months for a single character, and that's if you spent every Molagora that you got, including, I think, Molagora packs. Or no, it might not have included Molagora packs, but I mean, yeah, even still, you know, there's what, 100 and something like 160 plus characters. Now, I know a lot of the 3-stars don't require Molagoras in the slightest, but let's see if we just let's go to journal real quick and see just how many are in here. So if we go to all heroes, grade, all heroes, grade, acquired heroes, it's not going to show me by number, but I mean, you've got 170 characters in here. If you just assume that half of them are 4 and 5 star, you know, that's a lot of characters. That is a lot of characters to skill up, and you know, it's a real big problem that I think needs to be adjusted, because you know, it is definitely a detriment to the game. And I also think too that a lot of times people will take and grade a character, judge a character based on how they are unskilled, right? Because like take Dark Corvus for example. Dark Corvus is an absolute monster, but he needs to have that Molagora investment into him first. So if you don't have that, you're gonna like look at him, you're gonna be like, oh man, this dude's garbage. Like why does anybody like this dude? You know, an ML Ken without investment isn't going to be as good as the ones that you see on the internet. And I feel like a lot of times people take a character, they get it first day, they rush, they hurry up, they gear it, and then they make a showcase and they're like, this character is trash. This character is super bad. And I think that's one of the things too that people ran into with ML Tywin, because if you don't at least max out his S2, he doesn't have 100% chance to dispel the debuff, right? So they'll be like, oh, well, I took him in against a Basar and it didn't dispel everybody, so absolute garbage, right? You know, a fighter Maya is not going to be doing fighter Maya stuff if you don't have her S2 and her S3 maxed out for that damage. So there's a lot of things like that, and so you'll have a lot of people just literally judge characters on being completely unskilled, because in their head that's reasonable, because well, they don't have the Molagoras for it, and chances are you don't either. So I think overall there needs to be a change, even if they made it so that I could just pull them out of one character a month and move it around. I don't think that that's unrealistic. That's not going to be game breaking. You're not going to have people willy-nilly just being like, oh, I want to take all the, and I guess realistically, if you want to lose all of the catalysts that you put into a character just to pull your Molagoras out to plus 15 something else, well, I mean, that's kind of on you. I mean, worst case, like I could spend, you know, 3 months pulling Molagoras off of, like, you know, I invested a bunch into Silk really early on because, well, Silk was really good at the beginning of the game, super phenomenal character. So I would easily pull those out 1 month, put them somewhere, and then pull some Molagoras out of, you know, maybe I'd pull him out of Soul Bad Guy, because I don't really use him at all anymore. I used him when raids were tough because he melts things in the face, but I mean, I don't even really use him much anymore. So, you know, I would definitely do that over the course of months, and then, you know, after that point, then yeah, maybe I'm pulling plus 15 off of a character every month to move somewhere else to other meta characters. But I mean, I would be losing all of my resources to do that, and I think that would not be game breaking. So Smilegate, I think you guys need to do something about this. There definitely needs to be an adjustment, a long-term plan for Molagoras instead of just a band-aid. And I know that I am not the only person who feels this way. So sorry, I talked around in circles a lot, but I was kind of like going through regearing things today and like trying to work on like my RTA teams, because I think right now I'm too reliant on specific characters and I'm stuck in an arena mindset and a PvE mindset, and I need to have a better roster of counter picks. And so as I was going through, there's a lot of characters where I was like, oh man, I could just use this character, right, as a counter pick for certain things. And then I'm like, well, no, because I don't have the skills in this. I don't have my, you know, my Assassin Kali is not skilled, my Assassin Sid's not skilled, my regular Sid's not skilled. There's a lot of characters I want to use. And so I just thought, you know, hey, I'm going to just talk about this a little bit, because, well, that's what I do, is I talk about things on the regular. So if you guys do agree with this, though, let me know down in the comments, how would you guys fix the Molagora problem? And if this does get enough traction, I'll take this to the community managers and say, hey guys, look, here's a lot of people that think that this is a problem, and here's some ways that we can fix this. So get this out to people. Let's have a conversation in the description, or not in the description, in the comment section, and then let's see if we can get this over to Smilegate and see if they can can do something about Molagoras and just make it a lot better for everybody else. If you guys did like this too and you're not subscribed to the channel, think about doing that. I would appreciate it. But regardless, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace.
Cracky.